Hi, my name is Natalia Novikova, and I'm the managing editor of the Journal of Contemporary Eastern Asia, or GCEA. It's a refereed biannual open access journal that is indexed in Scopus and DOAJ. And it discusses current political, social, and economic trends in different regions of Asia. It also extensively covers research related to social, technical, and future network studies. And this year, when the world has moved online, we decided to start our own new YouTube channel in order to proactively reach out to diverse publics, including students, scholars, and practitioners, and to give voice to our authors who are often limited by journals' publishing practices, being that word limitations, academic writing standards, and so on. And we also hope that this YouTube channel will enhance our media presence and will support creative engagement across diverse GCA audiences. And today's speakers are Dr. Hangwoo Park, GCA's editor-in-chief and professor at the interdisciplinary graduate programs of Digital Convergence, Business and East Asian Cultural Studies, Yongnam University from Republic of Korea, and Dr. Sae Won Chung, professor at the Division of International and Area Studies, Pukyong National University, Republic of Korea. And in March, the New York Times opinion columnist, Thomas Friedman, wrote a piece which was called Our New Historical Divide, BC and AC, the world before Corona and the world after. And he discussed some new trends that were beginning to unfold. And Dr. Park and Dr. Chung wrote their response to Friedman's The World Before Corona and the World After, and they called that the perspective ranging from the development of civilization to the harmony of East and West and the paradigm shift. And Dr. Park and Dr. Chung devised the BCAC 10 paradigm hypothesis, and today I would like to talk about this hypothesis and ask a few questions to its authors. So could you please briefly describe your hypothesis and maybe tell us how you came up with this 10 paradigm idea?
Okay, thank you so much for your wonderful introduction. Dr. Natalia Novikova, and I'm Hanu Park. I am chief editor of this journal, and then we are considering having this kind of video abstract. So we decided to make some kind of a prototype video abstract based upon my co-author's editor's note. In our journal, we have the dozens of the associate editors, and then we take turns on writing some important emerging trend as editor's note. And then we identify key issues, but this editor's note is kind of the short essay. So for this issue, I have decided to contribute my thought on the coronavirus, which is a very serious thing around the world. And then I have shared my ideas with my collaborator, Dr. Sae Won Chung, and then we have kind of made some agreement that Thomas Friedman's new column about the before Corona and after Corona, kind of the talk of the town, particularly in Korea. Whoever talks about the post-Corona, they mention BC per AC as a new concept. But we, think that the peoples, they do not really consider hidden context of the Thomas Friedman's column, particularly related to the cultural difference or cultural context between East and West. So we came up with ideas. Hey, let's go with the initial capital C, and then we come up with the 10 paradigms. So number of 10 is kind of the arbitrary. It's kind of the convenience thing. But people can remember easily 10 paradigms. So we tried to add, 9, paradigms to the Friedman's paradigm, that the corona. So there is how we concluded the 10 paradigms here. So starting from the, Confucius, why? Because the, Friedman, he mentioned that, we need to reconcile. We need to make a harmony between East and West. So we tried to make we tried to look for the something rooted in the East, and then Confucius also starting with the capital C, and then Christ and Columbus, and then Korea. Why the background? We started from the Korean situation and Copernicus and the Corella and Cold War and the computer network, known as internet and cryptocurrency. And then the last thing is the COVID-19. So this is the how, we settled it out 10 paradigms. So, and then we tried to expand our discussion into the Bill Gates, because Bill Gates emphasized the significance of global corporations as a proper response to the coronavirus pandemic recently. So, we tried to combine these global, effort, from both West and East. So this is what, we thought. So I think Dr. Sae Won Chung, he has another opinion, on his side.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Arnold Park, and thank you for inviting us and having this new opportunity of the writing abstract in video format. I'm really glad to join this innovative and challenging event as a kind of the academic life. And well, when I first time heard from Dr. Park's opinions about the 10 culture shift in light of the coronavirus. So I think then he understood the importance of the culture shift is a major stuff in terms of the human civilization. When we kind of put all the events, the life-changing and culture-changing and history-making events throughout the period of from the beginning to until the recent coronavirus crisis, then we think of the major events start with the letter C. So then Dr. Park suggested me to how can we kind of write a piece using some kind of the impactful editorial notes of the Journal of Contemporary East Asian Studies. So based on that, okay, well, let's follow what you were suggesting. So we kind of trying to getting some meanings of each event, and he provided the framework of the 10 paradigm, and also I also had the brief discussion with Dr. Arnold Park, and also had the other scholars like the Dr. Young Jo Song and Kyung Tak Ro also gave us some valuable comments on the early version of that, and also we kind of revised that, and also we reviewed the couple of times of the first draft and just in turn. Then I think what I found very interesting was thinking about culture shift is very important. So our aegis of our writing could be this paradigm can be kind of the reiterating the importance of thinking of the culture shift, because our human culture has been changing into the very much like a civilized way, and also very much like a modernized with the filled with the computer technology, but we cannot get out of the culture. So because we're human beings, so we're very kind of the not kind of the rigid and solid as the machine or computer. in thinking about print techniques, so actually Gutenberg is kind of the well-known cases of the who initiated the metal wood print metal print technique. So I think it's about the mid 15th century, as far as I know. But the historical evidence suggests that the metal movable type print was also developed independently in Korea as well. So in the late 14th century. So sometimes Korea is known as the Hermit Kingdom. So actually it's very much like the hidden. So actually this country's potential is always had the potential culture shift, but is not well recognized. So I think as probably Dr. Hanu Park would like to emphasize the importance of Korea, because so it made the culture shift, but it's not well known. So I think he would like to address that. And in late 14th century, about 1377, a Korean monk named Baegun created with the printing compilation of the Buddhist saying using movable metal type. So the 2-volume book is known as a Jikji. So it's believed to be the oldest book in the world printed with metal type. So this is also, we need to kind of revise or the culture shift. So many people still believe this is, most people think it's a Gutenberg invented well, I think it's he independently invented metal print, but we think we have the historical evidence show that Korea did independently earlier than the Germans Gutenberg. So I think I would like to address the culture shift. Sometimes have there's a visible manner, but sometimes it's kind of invisible. But I think these, when we kind of revise all the stuff, I think Korea should be added. So in one of the 10 paradigms, start with C. Okay.
Very interesting and enlightening. Thank you very much. I didn't know that about Korea. And well, maybe the last question would be, what are the implications of your hypothesis then?
We do not have like the empirical research here, or we do not have the the actual data to replicate it or to validate our hypothesis. So but this is our kind of a theory basis abstract hypothesis. So we do not know yet, but Friedman, he casted 5 questions. Kind of number 1 is unknowns. Second one is the power of exponentials. Third one is the upside of exponentials. Fourth is will American culture or politics be fundamentally changed by this pandemic? Last, only generosity will save us. So I kind of paraphrase his number 4 question. Will American culture or politics be fundamentally changed by this pandemic? So I like to change the term American with the global. So will global culture or politics be fundamentally changed by this pandemic? And my answer, or our answer, is yes, absolutely. So in which directions? So we think the direction will be very much decentralized. So we put the internet computer network. So starting from the computer network, internet and cryptocurrency, blockchain mediated cryptocurrency. So, and then COVID-19 and these, trend or these technological or social change will us, decentralized even more, like the fragmented, so by this pandemic. So we would like to emphasize, this global decentralization or even more the fragmentations among human beings, but we cannot testify this hypothesis. Yeah. What about Dr. John?
Okay, thank you very much. I think, well, I totally agree with the Dr. Hanu Park's suggestion. So we kind of laying our platform for hopefully the more scholars could test our hypothesis, and mainly led by the Dr. Hanu Park, and his idea was kind of very provocative, and it was really kind of the insightful things, and we need to kind of what I learned from my works with the Dr. Hanu Park was he also considered significantly the comprehensive culture shift in light of from the ancient history to the modern history, from civilized and uncivilized, and also it's very kind of the crossover theorem or the hypothesis we suggested. So I think our final remarks and implication could be they can kind of make the some idea, providing some suggesting ideas about setting the standard or the well, rationale of establishing culture shift and well, history making events. So I think this is very useful for the future generation in terms of understand our civilization built over more than many thousand years.
Thank you very much. I think it's a very interesting practice to be able to actually talk about with authors and hear their original opinions about their papers. And thank you. Today's talk was very, very thought-provoking and extremely educational for me, and I hope for our viewers. And I hope we will make it customary, and we will make more videos. And thank you again very much for taking your time today, for coming to our Zoom meeting, and for sharing with us your ideas. Thank you very much, and happy holidays.